Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 45 Minutes to Ledger podcast. This is Dan with Russ tonight. Pete's at girls' soccer practice. He sent in his week 2 picks, but we'll get to those later. His picks are a disgrace for a Giants fan, but we'll get to that later. But we've gone through week 1, and life as a Jet fan has not changed, even though our quarterback survived week 1. But being a Jet fan, there is no difference in life.
We still didn't get past the fourth play of the game.
Yes.
Fourth play, shuffle pass, fumble,
Fumble.
fumble.
Fumble. Brees Hall. Fumble. The, the Jets defense is
Not
still
good.
trying to figure out how to stop the run. Random people are running through them. I guess we'll start with a quick positive. Aaron Rodgers played. He didn't get killed, and he's going to play next week.
They really didn't get to him. It was nice. I mean, I thought the line either the line performed well, or he got rid of the ball quickly. So it was very Brady-esque, like Brady in his 40s-esque, which is, I'm sure, what Aaron Rodgers wants at his age is to, get the ball out quickly and switch up, who he's throwing it to and spread it around a little bit. They just didn't have an opportunity to get the ball back too many times. The Jets defense was horrendous.
Uh, it was. You get all hyped up to these games. All hyped up. I'm wearing Jet stuff, going to pick up my daughter at some high school soccer event before a game. I look like a lunatic. And then I get to watch them just be Swiss cheese on defense. Swiss cheese.
I was going to wear my Jets jersey to work. And I thought better of it. I said, you know what? Let me hold back. Of course, I get to the train station and there's a guy in a Jets sweater. He wore his Jets sweater to work. And I said, oh, I could have been that guy. And then I'm glad I wasn't that guy, considering the outcome of the game.
It's Jordan Mason, backup running back for the 49ers. We find out 90 minutes that McCaffrey's not playing. We got Jordan Mason. And he goes out there and runs 28 times for 147 yards. 5.2 yards per carry. It was like they were not even standing in front of the line.
Well, you know why? Because Salah himself didn't find out McCaffrey wasn't playing and Mason was playing 90 minutes before kickoff. So they were ill prepared to stop that guy, and he ran all over him.
Ill prepared. It would have been worse with McCaffrey. Salah knew what the plays were going to be. My God, he was on the staff for years. He knew what was coming. And they ran the ball right down their throats.
Well, vice versa too. Shanahan knew what Salah was going to do.
True, but it's just a bad defensive game. Couldn't stop the run. No sacks. Really didn't. Purdy had an easy day. 19 for 29, 231. Made every third down. They scored 8 straight times. And it's just.
I mean, a couple stops would have been nice.
It
A
would
couple
be nice, yes.
stops, a couple stops would have been. They would have put them right. I think they would have been in the game if they got a couple stops. They didn't have to stop every time. A couple stops would have been nice. But we predicted this.
Well,
We
that's
knew they
true.
were going to
That's
lose
the other
game
good
one.
side.
I know Pete wants vintage Heigl going crazy and getting all upset. But at this game, I really didn't get that upset because you knew, there was a good chance they were going to lose this game. We predicted it. It was only week one.
It is a
It's hard to get too upset over this game.
it is a terrible spot to be in week one for playing the 49ers in Santa Clara. Um, and we predicted this loss. This is one of three that of the losses we predicted. But it, I'm sure you were hoping if we're gonna lose, we're gonna lose a much more competitive outcome. We were, into the second half, we were not in the game for the most part.
Well, you're up 7-3. You're feeling pretty good. The way Rodgers dissected them for 7 minutes, and that was long. That drive was longer than any drive they put together all of last year.
That is true, and it did make me feel warm inside. The problem it only happened once, and yeah.
Well,
But
that's it. They didn't get the ball back. But
they
look,
get the ball
they
back.
got the guy hasn't played in 2 seasons.
He's still upright. That's a
He's
plus.
still upright. We got a couple ragtag teams over the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So
Well, that's when if things get sideways, everything's gonna fall in. But besides that, it's just just was hoping for more, hoping for a more competitive outcome.
well, yeah, but let's let them get their groove on, start to build this team up, and then eventually get some momentum going into the playoffs. I mean, that's really what you want. So
Yes.
I can't get too concerned yet. Cannot get too concerned.
I just.
They lose next week, it's a whole nother story. But
Oh, well, that's the thing. You're looking for confidence in this team, and even a close competitive loss would give me confidence to say, "Oh yeah, we're in the same league." And that game did not make me feel like we're in the same league. I don't think it made me feel like we're not in the same league with the Lions, the same league with the Chiefs, and the same league with the Ravens. That's my worry. I was hoping that game showed off that we were one of the upper echelon group in the NFL, and I don't. That game didn't show that we are,
if
which is
they
disappointing.
lose, if they lose to Will Levis and
Oh, it's
the
gonna be.
Oilers, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh, it's gonna be. Oh, that's just. Yes, that's
This, this is not your father's Warren Moon led
no,
Houston Oilers.
no. And then following with the Patriots after, yes, they, yeah, and yeah, there we're the next four games they should win. If they don't, we may have a problem. Especially if they lose next week. This week, it's then it'll be a free for all. No, there's just some annoying things like Aikman brought up in the second half that, and I knew he was. Once I heard this, he was saving it. The dig at Salah is that there. He made a comment about how in the meeting early, in the production meeting that he asked Salah that could they stop the San Francisco run, and Salah's response was, "When we want to stop the run, we'll stop the run." Hopefully, that didn't happen. It's that the bravado, no all gas, no brakes. Sometimes isn't the best. Isn't the best. But yep. I mean, it was a predicted loss, but we wish for better. Wish for a little coverage in that game. We can move on to the other disgraceful display in New York. The Giants, who against at home against the Sam Darnold led Vikings, who are going nowhere. And celebrate 100 years of rotten giant football, having all their stars of the past there, decide to be completely pathetic and lose 28-6 to the Vikings.
Can we talk about those uniforms?
Oh, Oh my God, they had ugly Montreal Canadian uniforms on.
You can't. I don't know how you could mess up those colors. Like they're decent. I'll give the Giants credit. Got some decent colors. They still messed up those uniforms. They were horrible.
Horrible, horrible, terrible.
They did look like hockey jerseys. I thought it was like some sort of fan giveaway, and somehow those jerseys got on the players by mistake. You know how they're all mixing up these jerseys now. You get Yankee basketball jerseys and Met hockey jerseys. I thought it was a Giants hockey jersey.
Terrible. Terrible. Just like their quarterback, just like their coaching staff, just like everyone. Terrible. God, what a nightmare.
I actually wanted to watch that game. So, if I want to actually watch the Giants, I know they're going to get killed. Because that's the only way I want to watch.
I mean, I had contemplated it, and I'm glad I backed out. But I was thinking about taking them because they were home underdogs, getting 1.5, and oh God, disgraceful, disgraceful. It looked like a preseason game. Like they weren't even ready.
Well, I'm glad you brought up that point of them looking like a preseason game because you got to look at collectively the whole week one. These guys don't play anymore in the preseason, so you can't totally get into a groove. So it's almost like week one is the preseason. Nobody plays before. Nobody wants to get hurt. None of the starters play at all anymore. No, even going back to the Jets, not like Rodgers played any snaps in the preseason.
No, that is true. It was onto the main stage.
Right.
Hey, I don't know. So the Giants crap went out, and who they got looking to get killed by this week? Oh, they're playing
The
commies. Which, man, if they lose to the commies,
they're gonna lose to the commies. They're one of the worst teams in football.
Yeah, they are one of the worst. It's just that show is just the Giants are just. Oof. I mean, people say about the Jets, but the Giants have had some spectacularly bad years since their last Super Bowl. Spectacular.
We interrupt this podcast to bring you a Juan Soto home run, 2-run shot to take the lead. 2-1. His 39th of the season.
39th. But no, going there. Speaking of, there were some serious disappointments this weekend. The Bengal.
Oh, that was the biggest disappointment of them all. How do you lose to the Patriots?
Lose to the Patriots at home, scoring 10 points.
At home.
At home. Pete and I last week mentioned that this may be the Bengals might be past their prime, and this was probably a good demonstration of that. The Bengals might be all done. There's a lot of their players, especially playing wide receiver, looking for cash, looking for. So I got a feeling this is the Bengal. The Bengal run is done.
Well, I called that last year. I don't know if you remember. Start of the season, I said the Bengals were going to take a step back, and now they're really taking a bigger step back.
We had the Falcons, the darlings of the NFC South, at home last week to the Steelers, who were starting Justin Fields after Chef Russell had an injury, and the Falcons, who there were high hopes. They had everyone's cousin playing quarterback, and they lose 18-10 to the Steelers at home. Disappointment, especially since I picked them. But that's another disappointment.
I don't know. I think a lot of people giving them too much credit, or anticipated credit going into the season. I was not as big on the Falcons as everybody else seems to be. They haven't done anything, and they're just going by potential or what's on paper. I'm not. And week one demonstrated that.
And the Dirty Birds got fried. We'll go one other place where it was truly a true disappointment. And they may be already unraveling. And this is no surprise to anyone who's watched the league for a while. The Brownies got their teeth kicked in by the Cowboys at home on Sunday. The big Brady broadcasting premiere. And the Brownies were tired extremely. Their quarterback is pathetic and has a new civil lawsuit. So we'll see. A lot of things going wrong there all of a sudden.
Well, I'm not ready to throw the towel in yet on the Browns. They played a hell of a football team. That Dallas Cowboys team is coming. Is going to match up in the NFC title game. There's no question.
Wow. Well,
I have them going that far.
no question. This is a team that can win a playoff game.
Yeah, well, he said the same thing about the Jets. This is the year they're going to turn it around.
Oh.
They're good on offense. They're good on defense.
They were good. They were good on both of these last year, and the love child came in and blitzed them right out of the ballpark. But
they got a good kicking game. I don't know. I think
kicker.
this could be their year. This could be their year.
God, rooting for the Cowboys year. Oof. Something.
I'm going out on a limb. I'm going to say, Cowboys Jets. I don't know how much you guys got into it last week on all this sort of league wide final predictions, but
we're hoping for the ultimate underdog. Well, I am for Lions Jets.
Yeah, I had the Lions last year, so I'm moving on from them.
P has a financial interest of having the Lions at the end.
He stole my pick from last year.
I'm trying to remember who he had in the AFC. I can't remember if it was the Chiefs or the Ravens.
No, he's not big on the Ravens. He's not big on the Ravens.
I think he said the Swifties.
I'm sure he did. He definitely didn't say the Jets.
No, he did not. He did not. So, I mean, the NFL's back. The thing is things stay the same. The story stays the same for a lot of these teams. No matter what, if they bring new people in, it stays. The hype has all immediately fallen off Caleb Williams, even though the Bears won by some miraculous way, not scoring a offensive touchdown, being down 17-0.
Well, they played a crappy team.
Well, they did, and they got all the breaks. The Browns had no offensive touchdowns. I mean, the Bears. Where was that Bears game? The Caleb Williams box score is something impressive. Where is it? I'm looking for it.
Well, they're giving him all this credit. The first rookie quarterback to win the first game of the week, first game of his career since 2002. Oh. David Carr was the last to do it.
He was 14 for 29 for a monstrous number of 93 yards.
Less than 50% of his completion, made less than 50% of his completions and threw for under 100 yards.
Yep.
And gets the W.
Get the W. No offensive touchdowns. But the Bears won against the Titans. the opponent this week for the Jets. We'll move to any other NFL news from this past weekend.
Negative.
Negative. No,
Well, I don't know. We talking. Well, one other. Are we going to talk about the Tyreek Hill
Oh, there's
situation?
Tyreek.
There's Tyreek.
Had some
Couple hours before game time, got into a little bit of some trouble.
got a little trouble. Got pulled over for reports are for excessive speed by the Miami Police Department. It seems like the interaction with the police department went sideways. And in the end, after being handcuffed outside the car, they wrote him a ticket and sent him on his way, where he had a good game. But the body cam of the police officers and what Tyreek said are making this not a pretty interaction, to say the least.
Yes, I think there's blame on both sides of this situation.
Yes.
And I'll leave it at that.
Things could have been handled both sides a little different to have maybe a different type of outcome. But we'll see. That's not for us to say.
We'll see what else comes out of it.
Exactly. Tyreek Hill and Scotty Scheffler getting manhandled by police departments
on the way to their respective games.
Exactly. No respect.
Like in both cases, pulling into the parking lot. That's what's so crazy.
Literally, getting ready to turn the big right into work.
Yeah, I would say in both cases they probably had to show their game day pass or whatever pass they show to get past security to that far into the stadium.
What within sight of being at work. And in both cases, the interactions with the police departments didn't affect their gameplay. Scotty had a excellent round after being dragged downtown by Louisville, and Tariq had a touchdown and an excellent game. So the things that can happen right outside of your workplace, right outside of it. Gotta watch out when I go downtown tomorrow. So make sure I don't get pulled over as I'm pulling in.
Maybe he needed a little dolphin sticker on his car or something. Maybe he didn't have a Dolphins bumper sticker.
Instead of baby on board, fish on board.
Yes, they have the family. He could have had his family up there, and then holding a dolphin.
That's a
mom, dad, 2 kids, dog, and a dolphin.
Well, for him, it may be a couple more kids.
Could be a couple more kids.
Kids. There might be a little bit more stickers. The sports car he was driving may not have enough window space for himself and family, and the fish. Got to put the fish on board.
But does the window work?
That's always a question.
Just gotta make sure the window goes up and down.
You got to test these things. Test them. So we'll go to a picks. Pete was 2-2. I was 2-2, and Russ unfortunately was 1-3. Pete sent his picks in as tiebreaker, being the former past champion. Got to go first, and as a disgraceful Giants fan he is, started his first pick with Dallas -6 against the Aints. Like all Giant fans, really at heart, a Cowboy fan. Rooting for the Cowboys. His next pick, once again disgraceful. In the Battle of the Dirty Birds, he took the Eagles -6.5 over the Falcons. He has the Sam Darnold-led Vikings +6 at home against the 49ers. He thinks the 49ers are going to be So it was such a big win over the Jets that the 49ers will be looking past this game. And as being Mr. Swifty himself, he's got the Chefs -5 against the hapless Bengal. So those are Pete's picks. Dallas -6, Minnesota +6, Swifties -5, and the Eagles -6.5. I'll go to my picks. I'm starting off with the Buccaneers. So they were big win last weekend. +7.5 at the Lions. This game, I feel like, has backdoor cover written all over it. The Lions supposedly have a new and improved defense. They let the Rams catch up to them on Sunday night. They did beat them in. Lions did beat them in overtime, but the Lions couldn't cover. I got the same feeling that the Bucs may do the exact same thing. This is a repeat of the Lions that beat the Buccaneers in the playoffs last year. My next pick. I can't believe I'm doing this, but it's more to do with the nature of the other team than the team I'm picking. I'm taking the Pats +3.5 against the Sea Hags. The Pats have momentum after their victory over the hapless Bengals. And the Sea Hags did win, but they are making the trek across to the East Coast for a 1 o'clock game, which is always has its trouble for the West Coast team. So I am taking the Pats +3.5. I'm taking.
Oh, you're going against Geno.
Going against Geno. It's more the travel. This is a dangerous spot for the Sea Hags. New England, Foxborough will be excited because they of this past weekend's win. So I think there'll be a lot of momentum for the Pats. I'm going with the Packers +3 at home versus the Colts. I don't think this line is right. I think the Colts are decent, good. I think the Packers are good. They did lose to the Eagles, but they were not an embarrassment, and I'm surprised that the Packers are +3 at home. So I'm going with the Pack. Lastly, my last pick is the Texans -6.5 versus the Bears. I
-6 or 6.5.
I have 6.5. It could be 6. Where I'm willing to do both, either or. What you have?
I have 6 on DraftKings.
All right, we'll do DraftKings. I'm going with 6 -6.
Yeah, you're better off.
Better, that is true. I'm not believing the hype on the Bears. It's a story we've all heard before with Bear quarterbacks, and until proven otherwise, he's a bust until proven otherwise, just like every other Bears quarterback. So I am going with the Texans -6, the new and improved line. All right, Russ.
All right, well, we're going to start there. I agree with you. I'm taking the Texans -6 at home against the Bears for the very reason we just talked about the Bears and Caleb Williams' poor performance last week. The Bears defense carried them. I'm not expecting that type of performance against the Texans. They're just too good. There's too many weapons on the Texans team. This is an up-and-coming squad. So I like the Texans -6 at home. My next game matches up with Pete. I, too, like the Chiefs at home -5 against the Bengals. That 5 is always a conundrum, but Bengals looked terrible last week. Chiefs are at home. They're another juggernaut. They're going to want to stick it to the Bengals. I think this could turn into a blowout. So give me the Chiefs -5. And I'm going with double birds here. Double birds. First, Ravens at home, giving 8.5 to the Raiders. I don't like the Raiders coming all the way east and showing up against this game. I think the Ravens are going to, be at home. They're going to be a little ticked off. I think they're going to come out hot. I see blowout written all over this game. Give me the Ravens -8.5. And lastly, again, for the same reason I was talking before, I'm not big on this Falcons team. Give me the Eagles at home -6.5. I think they easily win by a touchdown. Ravens by 8.5. Chiefs -5. Texans -6. Eagles -6.5.
The league where they play for pay. Week 2 of the NFL. It's so nice. Have the NFL in your life.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got a couple home openers here. That's, I take that into consideration. Let's roll. Let's roll, baby. I got to break this 1-3 poor performance in week 1. Bounce back week.
Well, where do you want to go to next? Do you want to talk about some baseball?
Sure, I did interrupt. I know I interrupted the podcast. Not much else action happened in this Yankee game, although they did. Royals tied it up, so we got 2-2 in the middle of the 7th inning here. So not a heck of a lot going on in this particular game, but Yankees got themselves in a dogfight here with the Orioles in this last couple week stretch. So we're going to see how this all shakes out. But I'm confident they'll win the division.
And how is life in living in Metland?
Oh, well, the Mets have been very hot. Somehow that team. Did you see what happened to them today, by the way?
No, I have not had a chance.
They're getting no hit until the 9th inning. They ended up winning 6-2. They
Ooh.
exploded for 6 runs in the 9th inning after the Blue Jays blew the no-hitter.
Oh, it is the Blue Jays, but yes. The Mets are on a heater, to say the least. They have the wild card spot at half a game above the Braves. Well, wait a minute, they would be having it anyway. No, half a game over the Braves.
Right. So they got the 3rd wild card spot at the moment.
Yeah, the I forgot to look down to the Padres, but yes, the Diamondbacks are above them and the Padres. But yeah, it's looks like it's a 2-horse race between them and the Braves till the end.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the Braves come out ahead, but we'll see what happens
Yeah,
there.
You are hoping so hard for that. I hope you pray for that so you have a better home life, because if that doesn't happen, oof.
Well, Met fans also think that Francisco Lindor should be the MVP of the National League over Ohtani.
It's the Met fan always has something interesting to think of.
Yeah, a Met fan would think a Met fan can talk you into thinking that they have the MVP, the Cy Young winner, the Rookie of the Year, and a World Series team all wrapped up in one. They can get very delusional.
Very delusional. Very delusional. Anything else? Anything else? Any miscellaneous?
No, not really. Not really. We're going to avoid politics. We are not going to touch that presidential debate that happened last night.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Other than that, I got nothing.
Except, all I will say is our senior, and I mean senior in age leaders, when they sometimes don't show their best in these debates anymore. We go from one very senior leader dying on stage practically to our last last night's debate did not go well for the Republicans' very senior leader. So we'll go with that.
Fair
All right.
enough.
Yes. Unfortunately, age can be a factor in sports and politics. So, all right. I don't have anything else. Youth sports has begun for me. I won't talk about the my daughter's high school soccer team. It has not started off for the best. That might create a Jets type rant, but I don't want to embarrass myself. And
Eh,
but we did have victories in my younger daughter's soccer, so so that's the excitement has the fall excitement has begun. So uh
well, we did wrap up men's summer league softball on Sunday. We finished champion of the consolation bracket.
consolation bracket. What does
Yeah,
that
don't
mean?
ask. It
What does that
means
mean? You came in
we're
sixth,
we're the best of the losers.
best of the losers.
Best of the losers.
Oh my god,
Best of
that
the losers. And meanwhile, so I have a couple teammates. I'll bring this up for your feedback. So we didn't make the upper bracket playoffs. So, but they had a playoff for the lower bracket, which we were in. And then
what?
my
Well, I just
team
ask.
tried to
Can
what?
I ask how what position did you what ranking did you have to make the upper tournament?
Okay. So it was a 10 team league. We finished fifth.
Fifth.
Top four made the upper bracket playoff.
Oh, okay.
We won the lower bracket. We tried to challenge the winner of the upper bracket to another series, but they didn't want to play us. And I said, why on earth would they? Personally, my view was, why on earth would they want to play us? You know, we didn't make the show. Why would they even want to entertain this game against us? But it was a big debate amongst my teammates trying to push the other team to play us. But in the long run, they backed out. Not
Oh,
I should say they backed out. They didn't want to play us at all. They didn't back out.
they were already champions.
They were correct.
And congratulations for winning your best of the losers bracket and coming in fifth in the.
Yeah, I don't know if we get a trophy for that.
Uh, there, that's a T-shirt. You should come up with a T-shirt that says "Best of the Losers."
Consolation winners.
We are best of the losers. Oh, are you is there anyone older than you on this team?
Is there anyone older than me?
Which is disturbing to say. I can't
Um,
believe I have to say this involving myself anymore, but I mean, yeah.
uh, I have a couple people in my age bracket. There's a couple of us my age.
Uh,
The first baseman, of course, they always put the oldest guy first. Um, and actually, our third baseman is same age too.
what position do you play?
I play outfield.
Oh, see, at least you're showing out there running around out on the big field.
I'm still running in the grass.
Yeah,
Once in a while, I get called into catcher duty, but I got it. I usually play outfield.
I know. God. I mean, yeah, it's got
It was nice when Tom Brady was still playing, and I could say, oh, if Tom could do it, I could do it. But now my comparison is to LeBron James and Aaron Rodgers, and they're both about 40. So I got a couple years on those guys.
yes. That is a couple of years on us. We have a couple of years on them, I should say. No, when
Yes, and I think I got another 2 years of basketball and softball, and then I gotta have to switch to golf.
golf. I know. I'm getting our 30th high school reunion. And it's like, holy crap. Yes,
I'm aware that's coming up.
I'm aware. I have to go because I got asked personally.
You got personally invited.
I got personally
You got
asked. I said I would go.
you and the other 400 kids from our class got personally asked.
No, no, one of the people putting it up. She asked me. I said yes. I can't say no now.
Send my condolences.
I know. Can't back out. Can't back out. Can't back out the family, in-law family. So I can't back out. So, well, thank you all for listening to the podcast. I hope everyone had a great week 1 of the NFL and can't wait for week 2. Follow us on X. You can listen / watch our videos on YouTube. So thank you all.
Watch now?
Well, there's not video per se. It's just really our audio, and the screen has our name of the podcast across it. There's no picture of us just yet.
You got to keep me posted on that so I dress appropriately.
Well, like I said, you make up a T-shirt. Best of the losers. So thank you all for listening to the podcast, and have a good night.
Peace out.